Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This one is going to be on Bret Hart, Icons of WrestleMania. So Bret is a showboat, and he is the promoter for Tricksters in Faction Feud. All the way at 15k, you're going to earn 20% more war score from Faction Feud battles. He has the one link, the Icons of WrestleMania link. That's a +1 on a match for color. And he has the one gear, the Icons of WrestleMania gear. So I'm going to have 4 builds for you guys, 2 3-stars, a 4, and a 5. It'll show off all of his moves, so you get to see every move in action. And I think it'll be kind of interesting. Looking at him on paper, Bret is one I kind of slept on a little bit, but after I started playing him a little bit, he's got some potential for some interesting stuff. So the first 2 3-stars we're going to see are both going to be heavy submission ones. This first one is what I'm calling the fast one. So you can get the sub off on turn 1 if things go right. So it's going to feature the sharpshooter, 12 MP yellow submission, generate 26 random submission gems, and do 46,800 damage for 3 turns. Remaining sub gems are going to turn into reinforced gems. Then we're going to have the Russian leg sweep. It's going to deal 42k damage and make 9 reinforced gems into green gems for 8 yellow MP. And then the spike pile driver, deal 46k damage and choose 3 gems to make into yellow gems. So the idea behind this is we're going to hit the spike pile driver, do a choose move, and then hit the sub, and then recycle to the green off the Russian leg sweep. So Entourage, I'm running Steel for 4 green MP, Breeze for another 2 green MP, which will start us turn 1 with the Spike Pile Driver with tour perks. Also running Drew, Technician Drew for 50% more yellow sub damage. At 9k, he would add an extra turn. So that's 3 turns at 70,000 sub damage for 210k. And then Hall of Fame Booker T for an extra yellow. You could use Hogan as well. So we're going to be choosing 4 yellow gems. Not a lot of room for error. So yeah, let's take a look and see. You guys watch my videos, you know I like finding a way to be turn 1 or slow them down on turn 1. This one will usually do that. We're going to go against AJ on the road. AJ has a class advantage over us, and he is strapped. We are not strapped. I do have tour perks, +2 MP, and +1 on a match. So ideally, for this one, we have 3 MP. So we need 9 more. 2 6s with +1 is 8. 4 and a 3 is 9. So a 4 match and a 3 match will do it. And we do have enough gems to do that. Let's see if we cause a pin, though. That would be the downside if we do. And we didn't, and we got the sub ready turn 1. So like I said, everything has to go perfect to get the sub ready turn 1. You could also, if you don't have Drew or Booker T, you could also put Rikishi in, and then 2 3 matches would do it, but then you're only choosing 3. Or you could use Booker T, and Rikishi, and 2 3 matches would do it too. So there's a lot of variety you could go there. For the skill plates, I have the heavy machinery as a possibility. Every time you break 3 yellow, you get 3 green. Even though the green's usually going to recycle super easily, it might help. But then the STS, when you break 3 green, you change, I believe it's 7 black gems to yellow gems. Either of those would help. And you could go double armor, double fury, or a combination of both here. You could maybe even make a case for doing some takedown as the move damage is decent. So now we're going to turn the reinforced gems green and hopefully recycle. Usually it does. And you can see we recycled quite easily. AJ's going to get a move off. No big deal. Hopefully he leaves some reinforced gems for us. Good. We're going to be able to do a lot of damage and recycle quite easily with the reinforced gems. So we're going to go with the 4 match. Which recycles the yellow. And now we can hit the sub again and then reload the green. So you guys have now seen the cycle. Decent amount of greens on the board already. And that will definitely do it. So this is a really good move set. Pretty solid. Can do a lot of damage pretty quick and slows them down a little bit. Potential to start turn 1 like you saw, but you do need things to go well. So the second version of this, we're going to keep the moves the same and swap out the trainers. And we're going to bring in Zombie AJ. So we're going to get more turns on that sub, as well as an extra on the choose. And then instead of Booker T, we're going to bring Rikishi in. So we just need to set up 3 matches. Everything else stays the same. Suggested plates the same. Suggested metals the same. We're just swapping Zombie AJ in, and at 9k he adds +1 to the choose, as well as 3 turns on the sub. And then bring in Rikishi in so we get another plus on the gem match. Two 3 matches with choosing 4 is pretty easy. You just need 2 yellow gems on the board. So this is kind of the ideal setup. And to do this, you need +2 on a match. So we have +1 from the perk and +1 from Rikishi. This one, the sub does a lot of damage. Obviously, 420,000. Adding or taking Drew to 9k, that would be 490,000. You get an extra turn. Does need a green match. That's the downside, and we don't have one right out the gate, so we're gonna have to wait for 2 turns. It looks like. Yeah, I don't see one right off. And unfortunately, we move the pin bar a lot, which you don't want to see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I need 8 to move it all the way. So we'll just do this. That'll work. And now I have the green. So AJ's going to do a small amount of damage here. And then we should have control of the board. We're going to kick out of this pin here and then be able to get to work. AJ's had his fun, now it's our turn. So 2-3 matches is plenty. So we want to try not to force a pin, so I like keeping it near the top and the sides. Just put an extra one over a blue. And now we can go to work. This is going to take AJ down from starting at 650,000 to in the 400 or the 200,000 range. It should. It is a beefy boy sub, that is a fact. Okay, now we should hopefully recycle our green. Yep. Do that easily. Okay, so now we have 2 MP, and we're getting +2 on a 3, so each 3 is worth 5. So again, we only need 2 3 matches with Rikishi. Makes it a lot easier. There we go, and this sub is going to do it. Another relatively easy win. So the sub ones I went against AJ. For the 4-star and 5-star, I'm going to go against Vader because they are very heavy gem-based. So it doesn't give a good representation when I'm not strapped and they are defensively. So I will go against Vader, and it will give a better representation of the damage output that he is capable of. So this next set, it took me a while to figure it out. We'll say it like that. The setup was a little hard for me to figure out. It's available at 4-star, but after playing it a while, I got to where he can hit extremely hard with this setup. So we're going to bring in the 2 blue moves. The first one is the DDT, and the second one is the diving elbow drop. And then we're going to use the spike pile driver, which you guys have already seen. That's the choose yellow move. So we're going to do the diving elbow drop, 6 MP blue, deal 31k damage, and choose 8 gems to make into reinforced gems. And then the DDT, 5 MP blue, deal 26k damage, and choose 5 gems to make into 3 turn juggernaut gems that will increase your yellow gem damage by 18% for 4 turns on every countdown turn, and destroy 3 random reinforced gems at the end of the countdown. So if we have 5 gems and they're each doing 18%, by my math, that is 90% buff to the yellow gem damage each turn. So as those go up, the yellow damage gets very, very big. Very big. Now, the downside is you need to survive a while, 2 to 3 turns, to do enough to make it worthwhile. The upside is you hit really, really hard. So we're going to keep steel for the green MP, and we are going to bring in Dolph for the choose, because we want to be choosing as much yellow as we can because we're buffing that. It definitely, like I said, it took a few tries to get this build set right. And figure out which moves to pair with which trainers. And then we're going to bring in Rhea Ripley for more blues on the starting board, because we want that blue going right away. So the sooner we get it down, the better. You could start with Lawler and go for green matches, but I feel like this is the better way to go. And then Booker T for one more on the choose is good. If you didn't have Booker T, you could easily go with Trickster Andre for a blue on the match, potentially. Or if you had VIP Triple H, that might be the way to go with Lawler, and then not worry about having to get a blue match. So anyway, let's go against Vader. Neither of us are strapped. Still have my tour perks. For this moveset, I would absolutely go with Double Fury. And then for the skill plates, you could still use Heavy Machinery to get that green match, potentially. And refill the green if for some reason we don't pin them. Or Honky Tonk Man blues. That's break 3 green, get 3 blue. That would be really useful. So we do have the blue right away turn 1, which is perfect. So turn 2, we are going to get to drop our gems down. Our Juggernaut gems. And they will get 1 set of buffs going for 90% next turn, and the choose will be ready next turn. Then we have a decision to make, and I'll show you guys when we get there. So we definitely want to put them where they won't get broke. I like edges, corners, that sort of thing, loot box gems. And we're going to hold this move, the reinforce move, until we use the choose, so we can double choose. That's the goal. Let's do this. Vader takes his red. So here's where I'm talking about for the choice. So after one turn, it buffs the yellow gems to 9,800. We probably won't keep him down at 9,800 with the choose, and if we wait next turn, they're going to get bigger, and since he can't do his moves yet, we'll go ahead and do that. In a perfect world, I would have had a blue match last turn, so I could have dropped him again, and then next turn we'd be looking at an even bigger bonus, but it was not a perfect world. I was actually able to, on that turn, have 28,000 strength gems with getting back-to-back blue matches. So these are going to be pretty high, though, 14,500. So let's see how this goes. So reinforced gems, there's a lot of ways you can play it, but basically we have 4 and 4. So I want to do row breaks to get the most bang for my buck, and I'll show you what I mean with that. So we're gonna do, and like I don't really care about breaking these now because there's gonna be no reinforced gems left to break. So we're gonna do 4 here and 5 here, and we're gonna get all of these yellows clustered up, which is fine. This is very similar to how you would play Adam Cole, or if you've seen me play Adam Cole. So you can see we did 355k, which is a decent chunk, and that's not strapped, and Vader can't kick out. If you get the back-to-back blue matches, I was hitting over 450k with that. So that takes a little bit of setup. But it is certainly viable against slower opponents, and it's kind of fun. So finally, the 5-star. We're going to see the 5-star moveset, and this is even more like Adam Cole to me, except it's more recycling. No buffing though, but plays very similar. So we're gonna keep the spike pile driver, and we're gonna bring in the 5-star moveset, the pendulum backbreaker, and then the Russian leg sweep. This one is not a turn 1 move, it's turn 2 with the match, and then it's usually a pretty decent turn 2, and it recycles quite well. You could also probably do it just as easily with Akam as well, instead of steel, and go with the yellow match, but I have Rikishi, so I like doing it this way. I suppose I should read off the 5-star move for you guys. Pendulum Backbreaker. Deal 61,000 damage and choose 3 rows to make into reinforced gems. That's 9 MP yellow. So we're going to make the 3 rows. We're going to turn green gems, and then we have the choose yellow to get back to those 2 moves. So it's all about the green reinforces and doing a bunch of damage there. So we're going to change from Ziggler to Razar for more greens. So that's going to make 13 gems into green. Then we're going to go back to Rikishi so that 2 yellow matches is plenty. There we go. You could also use Lacey Evans to buff the green gem damage. That would also be certainly a possibility if you don't have Booker T for the choose, or maybe even instead of Rikishi, because honestly, we're going to have 1. So Rikishi really probably isn't needed. Let me just switch that, actually, thinking about it. Lacey should be better. A little bit more green damage. There we go. So we're going to go that route. So ignore Rikishi on there. That's My bad for not doing that right away. So, again, double Fury on this one, a lot of gem damage, so we're going to stick with Vader so you can get a better idea of it. Heavy Machinery skill plate would be very useful for recycling, even though you're going to hit the green anyway, so it's not a big deal. I think I prefer the STS to get a bunch more yellows out there. We do need a green match to get going on turn 2. We don't have it. So we do have a bunch of yellows. I'm going to take that instead, because it fills our yellows, because it was a 4. And that's where having Rikishi would have been clutch if we only had a 3 yellow match. But we had a 4, so it didn't matter. Okay, so now we're going to choose our rows. And you want to obviously choose the rows with the most greens. So 2, 2, and 1. And this is going to change almost all of them into green. For a decent amount of damage. 240,000. And it recycles. So 1-3 match would be enough. But let's be, a little bit greedy. Why not? Okay. Again, more reinforced gems doesn't necessarily help us. So this isn't ideal without a lot of greens. But I still think it'll be enough to put them away. Gonna be close, depending on Vader cascades. There we go. So there you have it. Those are the build sets for Bret. Not bad showboat at all. Decent amount of fun to play and some different kind of options in how you can build them. So I'd love to hear what you guys think about this preview in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, and share, as that helps me out. And other than that, guys, I hope you're enjoying the icons, and good luck out there. Thanks for watching.